Hey, welcome to Cox Family Travels. Today we are at Oscar Scherer State Park in Osprey, Florida, which is nearby Venice and Siesta Key.
Yes.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful area. All of it.
Yeah. It's one that we wanted to stay at because of the proximity to the beach. It's very, very hard, I would say almost impossible, to find camping on the beach in Florida on short notice.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't really looked in the private sector.
Yeah, we
We've
don't
only
really
looked at
want to
state
do
parks,
that
yeah.
either. But also, we don't like to plan really far ahead in advance. Far ahead in advance.
Right.
But because, I don't know, am I going to want to be here in November of next year? I have no idea.
Why are we even full-timing?
Right.
If that's our life.
I'm not planning out my life like that.
Yeah.
The whole point of this journey for us is to just kind of go.
Fly by the seat of our pants.
Yes. And for now, we've been going to different places in Florida, which have been beautiful.
Yeah.
But this place, proximity to the beach, is fantastic. From our campsite, we can be at the Gulf of Mexico, at the public beach, which is beautiful, in 12 minutes.
Yep, Nokomis Beach.
Yeah, that's
that one.
Nokomis. Venice is 15 minutes or 16 minutes, and Siesta Key, which was for the longest time voted like the most
Best.
beautiful beach in America. So that, and it's 20 minutes, 22 minutes. But that's just...
Yeah, super quick. I mean, we have stayed in certain parks where it's like it takes that long to get to the front gate.
Right,
so
yeah.
this has been a super neat one because of the just convenience to the beaches. And the beaches have all been beautiful. We did run into red tide.
Yeah.
When
And
we
that's
first got
different
here.
than Red Dawn.
Right, totally different thing. But there were some dead fish. I mean, if you've ever been, if you've never been to a beach that has red tide, basically it's like an algae bloom that happens out in the ocean, and it kills fish because there's a naturally occurring toxin, and so it kills the fish and it makes the shellfish unsafe to eat. So be careful if you do happen on the beach and you do eat shellfish. We don't, but if you do, just be careful. Which restaurants should be on top of that, but
Yeah,
still,
you think.
just don't be catching crabs here and then go and eat them because that'd be dangerous.
Right.
So
Yeah. And so that it caused the dead fish to come up, which made it not as pleasant, but that only was for the first 2 days.
And another thing that can kind of happen, and we did experience it too, was like some respiratory systems symptoms can kind of start to happen. Just a little bit of like kind of feeling stuffy or maybe coughing.
Right.
It generally, once you leave the beach, you don't feel those symptoms anymore. But just be aware that if you have that kind of sensitivity, it might be something you experience.
Yeah,
But,
and that's what happened to us. We would be walking on the beach. We had read that,
Yeah.
so it's hard to tell like what has really
I
caused
don't
it.
feel like it was like a psychological thing. I feel like we really were, because
Yeah.
the kids, I don't think we told the kids, and they were like,
Yeah,
so.
and there were just little moments of it. There would
Yeah.
be something that comes in, and you're just kind of like, kind of got a cough going on here.
Right, yeah.
But then it would go away. So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was fine.
Yeah.
It didn't really damper the time at the beach.
No,
Our daughter
no.
didn't want to go in the water at first because of the fish,
The
but
fish,
by the second or third day,
She was fine,
And
we
they were
really,
done.
yeah, it was gone. So yeah, it was a very neat experience over there. The park itself, though, is really beautiful. It's nice and shady in the camp sites, which is nice. They've been well maintained, I would say.
Yeah, we stayed in Site 51 and Site 28. Both of them are shady and fairly. 51 is level. 28 we needed a little bit of adjustment, but not bad. But the campground is one long loop. It does have pass-throughs, which are helpful for if you're not wanting to go all the way around.
Right.
And also for walking, because we've done our walking around the campground,
Right.
and it's nice to be able to turn around in different spots.
And there's plenty of restrooms, which
There are 5.
Yeah.
5 restrooms.
and they're in pretty good shape, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like they're not the highest quality fixtures and everything,
Yeah.
but they work.
Yeah.
And they've been clean, which is more important to me.
Yeah. They've been kind of awkward, or at least in the shower stalls that I've seen in the men's room. I haven't been in the women's restroom to take a shower or
Better
go to
not.
the bathroom. But so like the shower head is in a position where the water's spraying on you, and then it might spray right on top of your clothes that are sitting on the bench or hanging on the hook right next to the shower.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But then another shower had a divider, so there's that ability.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of awkward in some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've gone on a couple of the trails, and they've been nice. There was one yellow trail that I felt like wasn't very well marked. It was kind of hard to find it, and or actually, I thought I was on it, and I was not. But those are really out in the blazing sun, a lot of them. So if you're here in the summertime, you better go early or go late, because it's really hot out on the trails. But the first one there at the gate,
Lester Finley.
It is nice and shady and beautiful. It goes right along the creek. Or really, it looks more like a river.
Right.
It's neat because it's a tidal river, right? And so it will rise and fall with the tide, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a bridge at one end of the campground on the way to the nature center and Osprey Lake, or Lake Osprey. And so there's rocks there, and then when the water level goes down, it creates a rapids, which is really beautiful. And then at a different time, it's up, and it's like, oh, this is a different river. What's going on here? So that was really neat to see.
Speaking of bridges, there's a terrifying little bridge that you have to cross.
Yes.
In your RV to come into the campground. I crossed it in our little Nissan Rogue, which is tiny, and I was nervous, and then he had to drive across it. Maybe it wasn't so terrifying to him. I don't know.
But what is terrifying about the bridge is it's an old wood bridge, and it has a sign that says that the weight limit is 13 tons, which is plenty for our size rig, like the type of RV we have. But they're closing the campground in May of next year to replace the bridge. So we're thinking, wait a minute, is it safe to go on now? Like, you're identifying that it's needing to be replaced, but it's not closed. So I guess it's maybe one of those things where they say, this is going to need to be replaced in 5 years. Let's do it at 1 year to make sure nobody dies.
Yeah, maybe. The kids showed me a little soft spot on it the other day, so
they were bouncing up and down like a trampoline bridge.
Yeah, it was kind of scary. But but then you also jogged my memory about the nature center. We had a very pleasant experience there. We poked our heads in when we were on our walk, and they said, what hours are you open? And it's kind of flexible because it's run by volunteers. So, but the guy said, if you come by, we'll put on a little program for you.
It was a Sunday afternoon, and we were doing our steps, and we told him we had kids, and he said, well, bring them by and I'll do a project.
Oh, right.
And so we went back later, and he had set up an area for them to make necklaces out of shells and beads, and then also he had us all sit down and went over this, all these things that he had collected, and told us what they were and how they got there, and it was just really informative.
Shark's teeth, that's something you can do on Venice Beach, is find shark's teeth.
Good luck.
We found some, and we're going to find more.
We did find some little ones like this.
But that's something people do, is find shark's teeth, and it's a neat little thing to do, and the craft was really neat, but especially the little talk he gave us about all the different fossils and stuff. It was really neat. He's a super nice guy. So, Joel Robbins, if you ever come to this park, go see him over there at the Nature Center.
Right. And speaking of robins, we haven't seen any here, but this is a park that has the Florida scrub jay bird, which is not endangered, but the numbers are lower than they used to be for a while. I think it got put back on the list that says it's okay. They're all right, but they're still protected. So this is one of the places you can come to see them. You have to go out and search for them and listen and hopefully find them, but we did eventually find some, and got some good pictures of them, and they were a really neat bird to see. I think the ones that we saw were juvenile mostly, but it was neat, and there's a lot of different types of birds here to see. So if you like birds, walk out on the trails in the morning, you'll hear them, and you should be able to see quite a few. It's like a scrubby, palmetto bushes, saw palmettos, and then pine trees and oak trees.
And we saw a really big eagle's nest too, and that was really cool. A bald eagle's nest.
Yeah, we didn't see the eagle yet.
I think I might have. Remember? I'm pretty sure I saw one.
Sure.
Did.
But our stay here has been for a week and a half so far. We're going to do a full 2 weeks. We're leaving on the day after tomorrow. But it's been a great place.
Yeah, it's one I'll definitely want to come back to, because it is so close to the beach. If you're wanting to be close to the beach, I'd say give this one a whirl, because I've not seen one so beautiful and so close.
Right,
So.
and we are staying here in the middle of July, so we've been able to secure a location. I think prior to the 4th of July, it was busy, or maybe the 4th of July and earlier, it was busy. We didn't get here until the 9th of July.
Right, yeah.
But now it's been pretty empty, except for on the weekend.
And then that reminded me, the beach, if you go early or if you go late, the crowds are not bad at all. In fact, you'll have the beach all to yourself if you go right at sunup. Just go at sunup and stay there for a couple hours, and then you can be done with the beach. And that's what we do.
Yeah.
Because we need to work during the day. So we just go early and then go again in the evening. And then it's awesome.
Yeah, you can imagine Siesta Key, one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, gets very crowded. But if you're there at 6:30 in the morning, nobody's there and the sun's up and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you can check out the full review of this campground and our stay here on our website, coxfamilytravels.com, and let us know if you've been here before or if you plan to come this way. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.